Well, welcome back to The Sprout, where we are taking the opportunity to show the community all of the ways that Richland is bringing redemption and innovation through education and the programs that they offer in our community. And I am so excited to sit down today to talk to Miss Gina Taylor, who is the Executive Director of the EnRich Program out at Richland. Today, she's going to sit and tell us where this program came from, some of the heart around it, and some of the differences that it's bringing within the individuals that are going through it. So Gina, thank you for being here today. I am so excited. I know that we were just talking off camera about so many things. I feel like we could talk for hours, but I would love for you to introduce yourself to the audience and your role and how you came to that role. How about that? We start there.
Okay, well, thank you for having me, first of all. Topic that I'm very excited about, but I'm the executive director of EnRich, and how I landed that role was I first started out at Richland as the GED teacher, instructor, and heard this guy across the hall from me giving this spiel about life and barriers and how they can move forward. And so when he went on break, I asked him, my students could use this. Can they come across the hall? He said, sure. So when he got done, didn't know him, he took off when he was done, walked down the hall, and I'm walking with him. And it was really a God-inspired thing because I said, hey, I was like, you're doing great work, but you're missing something. He's like, I'm missing something. Like, you're missing a female presence, and that female presence is me.
Oh. And I love the boldness.
I don't know where it came from. I really don't, because I had no idea. And he stopped midstream and looked at me, and it's like, okay. He said, you're hired. And it's been golden ever since then.
Oh, I love that.
So I started out as an essential skills facilitator, and from there I grew to the lead facilitator of essential skills. From there I grew to the director of essential skills, and now I'm still the director of essential skills, but the executive director of EnRich. So,
oh man, I love that story. I love the audacity that leapt out of you.
I don't know where it came from. I really don't know where it came from, but I was like, what did I just do?
Oh,
and then he hands me this curriculum, and I'm like, okay. And from there, it really has been a daily part of my life, waking up, going to sleep. I use it with my family. I use it with my grandkids. Just anybody that I encounter, I just have this passion for wanting to change their life, helping them change their life.
It's contagious, isn't it?
It is very contagious.
Well, I'd love for you to kind of make the connection of who was that young man that you heard across the hall.
Yes, so that's the glue.
Yeah.
That's the sauce, as he calls it, Reverend Courtney Carson.
Okay.
Very passionate young man about the work, about God's people, about our community and moving it forward, and just healing wounds, healing hurt, giving people opportunities.
Right.
And so if I can go a little bit deeper than that into the story.
Some of his backstory, or maybe how it came about. I'd love to hear more.
Absolutely. I would say early 2017. I joined the team in 2019, but in 2017, the creation of EnRich, based off of essential skills.
Okay.
Changing the gears in your life. He was one of the Decatur 7. Okay. You can Google that brought about I would say a change for Decatur. Though it looked a little different because it brought down individuals like the Reverend Jesse Jackson and just kind of changed the trajectory of our community. And he got expelled from school behind it, and met up with a young lady that helped him get his GED. Okay. And from getting his GED and writing this program as well, and first starting it out with the Springfield Urban League, trying it out over there for free, wasn't getting paid very much money, but he believed in what this was. Brought it to Decatur, downtown Decatur, utilizing it with African-American males, just trying to help them reset the tone of life because of where he had been and where he could see the vision of where it could go. And ironically, the same school district that expelled him, he landed on the board.
You see, that's why we bring redemption in some of these stories. That's amazing.
Absolutely, which is the whole concept behind the whole program, right? And so from the school board, well, prior to the school board, he ended up at Richland.
Okay.
With the program, with the EnRich Program, and specifically essential skills, helping people rethink their lives. And we have a slogan that he's come up with that says, technical skills plus essential skills is what changes lives.
I see.
Not just the technical skill, it's the essential skills that help change his lives. And so he's very passionate about it. He's seen it work on himself. And so this curriculum has actually landed in 23 of the community colleges here in the state of Illinois, and it's expanding from there. Right. And so it's just a phenomenal story that he has, and he's very humble about it, about his beginnings and where he's at now. And he believes that if he can do it, anybody can do it. And here, you just have to have the opportunity to do it. And here's some information to help you do that.
That's incredible. I love stories like that where he saw what he needed and he moved forward with building it.
Yes.
Right? Instead of, a lot of us can get stuck maybe in the bitterness or the trauma or the resentment of not having certain things in our lives. It really sounds like full circle for him. He really took it upon himself to create these things for other people that he didn't have.
Absolutely.
Now, if we could break apart a little bit some of the nuance between EnRich as the umbrella and essential skills as a part of that program, correct? Okay. From what I have kind of gathered from some other interviews, EnRich is the entire program that has a lot of focus within the work side of things. Is that correct? And you guys offer, is it the nursing and some of the different things?
Yes.
Can you expound on that?
Yes. So I kind of want to flip the script
go right ahead.
On you as far as like essential skills really is the umbrella.
Oh, okay.
Essential skills is the umbrella, and then the technical skills, the workforce side of it is what's coming out of it. Because again, the industry, we can teach you to do the technical, but we can't teach the essential sides of human beings' behavior.
I appreciate that flip.
No,
I like that perspective, honestly.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. So though it's, it really weighs out more on the essential skills side because that's what helps you keep your job.
Okay.
So within EnRich, we have healthcare, all aspects of healthcare. Okay. That's being led by Director Rebecca Zuniga. And then we have our manufacturing workforce that encompasses industrial job skills training, construction highway training. It also includes pre-apprenticeship trainings, and that's being led by Executive Director April Ingram. Okay. And then we have our seizure program, which is the Clean Energy Jobs Act.
Right.
That is fairly new, but is booming out the seams. And that's being led by Director Tamika Thomas. Okay. And then with Essential Skills, it's myself that leads that part of our umbrella. We also have MMPP, which is Minority Mentor Protege Program, which is our program that helps individuals create their own entrepreneurship in businesses. And we've created 62 businesses here in Decatur.
That's amazing.
It really is amazing.
Beautiful.
And from all aspects, we have owner-operators with once they go through the CDL program, then they go through the MMPP program and start their own businesses in trucking. Okay. So they own their own trucks, they're hauling throughout. So it's just a win-win situation. So I won't say close your eyes and pick one, but we have a lot to offer within EnRich.
Well, you know what I hear though there? I feel like there's sometimes a need and then individuals who need a job. And then it's just kind of bridged there. But it sounds like you guys have kind of been like, no, these are individuals with passions and interests and likes. How about we help get them to anywhere they want to go, not only a specific area of a need in the community that needs to be filled or something. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It sounds like you guys are creating a lot of pockets of a lot of different interests, a lot of different passions, careers, career paths and stuff.
Yes.
And you're like, no, we don't want just to fulfill this need. We actually want to help individuals realize their potential and where do they want to go.
Absolutely.
I think that's amazing.
Yes.
So
the sky's the limit, right? I use my story. I use Reverend Carson's story that, neither one of us woke up with silver spoons. We may look like it now, but the same story that you have and barriers that you have, we probably had the same ones, and this is how we maneuver through. And you can make it too. You can do this too. Whatever desire you have, you can do it. Just capitalize off of this training that we're giving you.
Right.
And we support you through it with our stipends and with wraparound services. So we're not just paying, giving you scholarships for your education or for your technical aspects. We're also supporting you financially. Car maybe have broken down. You have to because we consider it, you're on the job.
I see.
So we set the same rules that you're on the job. It's just a classroom.
Okay. Can you elaborate some on some of those? You said a stipend. What does that look like?
Stipend is $13 an hour.
Okay.
And depending on the number of hours of your program, particularly essential skills is where your stipend comes from.
Okay.
And so what that program looks like is for essential skills is you have certain number of hours that you have to complete, just like a job. If you're late, we dock you. We give you a point, just like any other industry would do. Your dress has to be a certain way. We dock you if you miss on that. Phone calls, it's the same concept of if you was at work.
I see.
You wouldn't be on the cell phone at work.
Yeah.
You
wouldn't be taking a nap at work.
You wouldn't be doing
showing up
eating
late
breakfast
to work.
and all, if you're on the
Yeah.
line somewhere. So that's where this whole concept comes from of essential skills and the program is you're at work. I hired you
I see.
to do a job.
Well, and I feel like you're kind of getting them into that mindset
Absolutely.
right away.
Absolutely.
But in a safe enough place to practice with you guys.
Absolutely.
Right. So then it isn't just a shock when they get to work and it's a very different environment. You're kind of onboarding them into that environment, it sounds like.
Absolutely. Because we have an industry board that we kind of meet with and they tell us this is what we're looking for. Not just job skill wise, but these are some of the things that we're running into with employees. So we do have some employers that have brought us in to teach their people.
Okay.
Trauma resilient essential skills, time management, conflict resolution, those type of things, changing the gears in your life, You may not be happy at this job, but how can we make you happy and not necessarily maybe financial, but just mental wise.
Right.
Because that plays a big part on your job, right? So those are kind of things that we do. We get some angry ones, because
Well, here's the thing, I think everybody needs to consider too. You have to be ready for the opportunity. Absolutely. We had someone on the show, and we talked about the difference between a hand out and a hand up. And you can present people with help and support and compassion and grace and opportunity and accountability. But if they're not ready to shift their standards and expectations on themselves, then they're not ready for that program. They're not ready for that opportunity quite yet.
And that's where, for the facilitators and for the essential skills, we get them ready.
Yeah.
Most of them that come in, I would say, with the exception of maybe the healthcare, because they already know, hey, I want to be a nurse, or I want to do this. Most of our participants that come in aren't quite sure, because I'm not quite sure what essential skills is, and I'm not quite sure what industrial job skills, and I'm not, so I have to get them to the buy-in stage. So they come in with
Which is why you
doubt.
start them with essential skills.
Yes.
And what does that look like?
So essential skills, depending again on the program, is a set number of hours. And we just take you through a barrage of curriculum, lessons, life lessons, job lessons, and as well as other things that are personal. We have on campus a counselor, because we really unpack the person, because we want to know, what's your why? Why are you doing this? And don't tell me it's because, I have to feed my children, stuff like that, because it won't work. The why has to be for you, to change you, to feed you, because then it's a ripple effect from there. Then the children will be fed, and the children will be whole because you're whole.
Oh, that's fascinating. I love that so much.
What's your why? Or who are you? Most of the time, well, I'm a mother and I'm a father. No, that's not who you are. That's what you do. And this helps them unpack too once they get on a job. Hey, I think I would like to go work over here. So I'm going to apply for this higher position over here. It just really gives them the stability of the circle of courage, right? I do belong here. Because a lot of times when we go to work in places, I don't know if I really belong here. But if you don't know who you are, you will feel like you don't belong. So we create that for them within themselves. Circle of courage, knowledge, generosity, give back.
Yeah.
What's been given to you, you give that back to your community, to your family, even to your own self. So a lot of them come in doubt. A lot of them come in for the stipend.
Oh, yeah.
And we tell them straight off, first day of class, I'm the first one that they talk to. This isn't that. I've hired you to do a job. And if you can't abide by these rules,
right,
then
sounds
I'm sorry
like some
to
firm
say,
boundaries.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Same ones you would have on your job. Because the expectation is that once we're done spending this much time with you, equipping you with the things that you need, now you're ready for the real world, you're ready for the job.
Right.
And when the industries around here see that on your resume, they know that you've gone through some things, you know how to do things, you know how to think, you know how to critical think, you know how to be a team player, and you won't bring home into work, and you won't take work home.
Right.
So.
All right. And it makes me think, so I worked for Starbucks for probably about 10 years. And I was considered what they call a learning coach, where I trained a whole bunch of people, any barista, managers, a lot of different things. But one of the things that Starbucks really put in, you said this and you'll see the connection in a second, is once you put on that apron, like you're different. Once you walk through that door and you put on that apron, what happened before that door and apron isn't a part of what you're here for anymore.
Absolutely.
And trying to teach the people that you're training that nuance of separating, compartmentalizing, kind of self-regulating, shifting into the mode that they need to be in for the job. Some people kind of understood it, and then others, it was different to navigate, how they found it very difficult to separate.
Absolutely.
And I'm sure that's a microcosm on what you guys kind of walk these people through on a much bigger scale and a lot of different things. But you're absolutely right that with the job, like, there's expectation.
Absolutely.
Whenever you're in this classroom, like whenever you're in this job, whenever you're in this thing, quote unquote, your apron is on. Right.
Yes. And we make them wear the apron home too.
Okay.
So this isn't just for this classroom, for this time or this program. No, this is for your life.
Right.
I had one young lady who eventually just broke down in tears. And I'm like, what are you upset? She says, when I get off of work and I pick my kids up, she said, I'm yelling at them from the time I walk through the door to the time, she said, and I'm so frustrated with that. So I gave her the tools. I said, you know what? I said, when you pick them up, In the summer months, months is nice, go to the park. Let them run and play. Get rid of some of that extra energy while you surf on your phone or whatever. Decompose that way. Just take a breath. And she just started, she's like, I never thought about that. Those are the kind of tools that we give them because she was just in a circle of frustration.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and she said, she came back and she said, you know, it's working for me.
Oh, that's
and
wonderful.
You know, and she said, and when it gets cold, she said, you know, I may just go by a Dairy Queen or somewhere like that and let them eat an ice cream or something like that, even though it's before dinner, but just so that I can get myself together before we get home, you know. So, I had another one was like, you know, every morning I'm yelling at the kids because they can't find their stuff. Like, you know, I'm like, that's your fault though. Here we go. So when they get in the house, they take their shoes off, they go by the front door.
Right. They
don't just get to kick them off. But again, that took her getting her own self organized and writing this down. Okay, this is what I'm going to start doing. So it's stuff like that. And it bleeds off onto the job. Mm-hmm. When you talk about healthcare, you're taking care of people that are traumatized. Because trauma is a body experience, right? Your body gets affected, blood pressure, heart problems. It comes from trauma. And so hospital are full of trauma people. So if you're traumatized as a nurse, and you want to take care of me, it's not going to work.
Adding more trauma into more trauma, right?
Right. You know? And so it's that kind of stuff. That's the secret sauce that we give them, the tools to navigate. It's not just navigating through work, it's navigating through who you are and getting your own life organized and getting those simple barriers that we can help you with out the way so you can be productive and climb the ladder. You want to be a CNA? No, I want you to be an RN. We'll start with CNA, but we always let them shoot for the stars. Don't just stop here. Go higher.
That's incredible. I love, you know, anytime I have talked to, you know, Reverend Carson, it does just, he bleeds it.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
And anybody that I have sat down and interviewed or even just met through different things that are a part of this program, it's contagious.
It is.
You guys really love and are passionate and care about what you're doing with changing lives and creating opportunities and breaking down barriers. And I think it's barriers that not everybody really thinks about. What are some of those barriers that, you know, offhand, sometimes you think of just finances or just different things, but you guys have really done a wrap around all sorts of barriers.
Absolutely.
You know, I'd love for you to educate some of the audience, me, on some of those barriers that you guys are really breaking down for these people that, you know, not everybody really considers.
The biggest one, I think, is finances, right? Everybody wants to have an opportunity, get some skill sets, but they probably can't afford it. So that's where EnRich comes in with the scholarships. And then it may be daycare, right? If you've been at home, you don't have you know, for a year or whatever, and you decide you want to go back and change your career or start a career, daycare for most families is the number one issue.
That's a big issue.
It's a big issue. We got you covered. And so we've been making connections with home providers and even like the YMCA and stuff that, hey, we have slots available for 8 weeks of training or 10 weeks of training. Okay, great. That barrier's broke down. I don't have transportation. No problem. The city bus runs to Decatur, runs out to Richland.
Right.
If you're a student, you get to ride that for free.
Oh.
There's no cost to that, right?
Right.
Or maybe they do have a vehicle, but gas, you know, that's no problem. Yeah. We have gas cards, right? And so food disparity, no problem. We'll give lunch tickets. We have a pantry. They can go into the pantry and get food. We've got that covered. Okay, well, maybe I don't have the clothes for the interview because we have mock interviews and then we have real interviews.
Okay.
No problem. We have something at the school, or maybe we can give a little finances for you to go and buy this nice shirt or pair of slacks or whatever you need for the interview. We have that too. Maybe you're down on your luck from paying rent that month because, we all know it can happen to any of us. Maybe the furnace went out and you had to pay for that to get it fixed instead of the house payment.
Yeah.
No problem. We can help you with that too. So we really have a barrage of wraparound services that we can help individuals, because we want to remove these barriers, because we believe that in our community, this is going to make a better you, get you employed, because we know there is a workforce, need right now, and you're successful and off on your way you go. We've gotten cars fixed. It's whatever the barrier may be.
I love it, because you just listed quite a variety of barriers, and they seem, what's the word I'm looking for? They seem so obvious, but you don't always think about it.
No.
Like, you really don't.
Until you're there.
And then there's no help.
Right. In what I do.
How do you see the students and their receptivity? I'm sure it would be like a drastic metamorphosis to have somebody walk through your door who has no idea what this program is about, but I heard it was an opportunity to how they exit. If you're providing them with these things, you're keeping them accountable, you're walking them through essential skills, you're walking them through the technical, just the metamorphosis from beginning to end has to be incredible to see. I'm very curious about some of those beginning steps. How do you see the students kind of navigating? Like, wait a minute, you're telling me this? Wait a minute, like, you're expecting this out of me? Wait a minute, this isn't
that right
just...
there. That's that doubt.
Yeah.
They come in with the doubt. I want it because I heard it's good, but like you said, wait a minute, what? I got to do what? So that's where I come in with, I hired you. This is a job. This is not a free-for-all. If you really want to get your life going, then this is where you need to be. And then after they've completed their program, we follow them for 6 months.
Oh.
Some of our programs will support them even up to 6 months after that, and then a year, because we want to make sure that this is working. We know it works, but we want to make sure that you're still on the right track. Is there anything else you need as far as support-wise? I've even had groups that come back and say, can we do Essential Skills Part 2?
Yeah, because once you get into the real world and some of that, just that follow-up into that next environment again, I could see that.
Yeah. I need this motivation. I need to be reminded that I don't go back into that screaming habit again. So we need a Part 2. So we're trying to work on that as well. But yeah, we follow them up to a year after they've completed the program to make sure, one, technical skills is still good, you're still working. Is there anything you need from us? How can we continue to support you? Because you have to remember, even after I completed my program and land a job, which may take me a month, maybe by the time you do the resume. And
sometimes it takes a while,
I still have bills I have to pay. So we're still supporting, right?
Gotcha.
And then even after you get that first 2-week paycheck, still there's still that gap. So we're there not only financially but mentally to help them with resources and things like that they may need. So it's a really a full circle.
It is a full circle. It sounds like through all of the stages, making sure you can support and wrap around really until they're flourishing.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
As we're talking about this, there's so many people that I feel like could truly benefit from this type of a program, this type of a system. What does entry look like for you? Is this, some people might assume it's income-based. Is there a certain qualification, certain like how do you work through who comes through these things?
So it depends on the program.
Okay.
Of course, we know if you're on the credit side of things, which means we have programs that are credit, which is the healthcare, as well as HVAC and welding. there are certain criteria that you have, like you can't have a felony and all that kind of stuff to go through those kind of programs. But on the other side of the program, like our pre-apprenticeship program, I think our seizure program, you have to have a driver's license. But other than that, it's, can you get here?
So it's open for anybody.
It's open for anybody.
Okay.
Right? You fill out an application, select the program that you wanna do, and away we go from there. We're starting a collaboration, and this is fairly new for us. We just had a meeting with the warden of the women's prison here.
Oh, wow.
In Decatur.
Okay.
And we're going to start them a program with essential skills.
That would be so huge.
Yes.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yes, and to the point to where they'll come to Richland. To set that tone of when they are out into the real world, to start that feeling of what this is like and that thinking process and things like that. So we're excited. It keeps evolving, and it's open to our community, to the need. I mean,
like I said, I don't think it clicks for people.
It doesn't.
That it's for anybody. And like, you know what I'm saying? And I love that there aren't those requirements because so many people, so many situations, there's a lot of people that need essential skills and just a second chance, no matter where you're at.
Right. Absolutely.
And I think that's phenomenal. So, you know, as we wrap up here, you know, I always like to leave the audience with some sort of connection point. You know, if they're listening to this and they are that person or they're thinking of someone, what would some next steps of curiosity be? How would you, is there a website? Is there an email? Is there a follow-up question type of a thing to direct them?
Yes. So if you're in the community and you're curious about it, you can go to Richland Community College's website and just search for EnRich. And it will show you a page of the workforce, essential skills, and what it has to offer. And then from there, I encourage you to come in and fill out an application, see the program, see what it is that you may want to do. Maybe have a conversation with one of the directors to see what's the best fit for you. But I urge everyone to come in at this time to, you know, set your life on a new path. Maybe you already are a CNA, but maybe you want to go on to be a LPN or RN. I encourage you to come in. Maybe you've always wanted to be an HVAC, heating and cooling, right? You can start your own business from that. I encourage you to come in to EnRich, fill out an application, see how you can get that journey started for you. You can walk away with an associate's degree or certifications. So the sky's the limit. Say you want to drive a CDL truck. You want to go across the road. Come in and see us because we have something to offer you that you may want to do. There are some things we can't do as far as programming, like culinary and things like that. But other job skills we have for you. So come on out and check us out and see what's right for you and get your life on the right path.
Well, thank you so much. I, you know, these type of conversations always inspire me. They encourage me and they challenge me in a good way of like, what are you personally doing for people in your life, for accountability, for showing up and doing the thing? And, you know, everybody that I have sat with, they have a different heart and a different perspective whenever it comes to these things. I would love to do a follow-up episode at some point after another semester or two to see where you guys are at.
Absolutely.
But just thank you for coming on and sharing your heart.
Thank you for having us. It really is a heart for the people program at Richland, and we're ecstatic that first of all that Reverend Carson is working so diligent and so hard to really impact our community and spread it abroad, not just keep it for us. And then being led by Dr. Valdez is huge because the college has to accept this, right? In order, because we're not bringing in your traditional students.
Right. Yeah, and President Valdez, you know, I know him professionally and personally, and he really is the right man for innovation, for changing lives, for pushing the envelope, for really allowing people to try to go for it and let's do this.
And so when you're working for individuals like that, especially Reverend Carson, it's like, slow down, slow down, you know, because he's always on the go, always, you know, this is innovative. Now we're going to do this. Now we're going to do that. But at the top of that is the essential skills. Like he just, because it works, it shows. We've done over 3,000 people.
Wow.
With 90% of them still on their job, working. Some of them coming back, hey, now I think I want to go do this. So it works, right? And and it really is a mission.
Yeah.
It's a mission to better our community, better the people, better individuals. I often tell him, just put me back in the classroom. I miss the classroom. Can I go back to the classroom? He's like, no. I'm like, I want to go back to the classroom. You know, to make those connections with people. And when you see the light bulbs go off in their eyes, it's like, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
It sounds like you and your team have definitely found your why, and you're spreading it.
Yes,
So,
and we have a graduation.
Yeah.
Huge graduation. When they get done with essential skills, we have a graduation. We just had one December the 11th.
Okay.
With 190 graduates from essential skills. So it's so inspiring to see them put on graduation robes and their graduation stoles that they get to keep. And I asked one of them, I was like, why are you so excited about, you know, nobody's ever given us anything.
Yeah. Or even celebrated them for some individuals, right?
At all. We had over like 350 guests. They were standing. So to see them get that and posting it on Facebook and just how it's changing their lives, because then you're accountable. Once it goes on Facebook, then everybody's holding you accountable.
Everybody sees it.
Everybody sees it. So it's wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful opportunity. So check out EnRich.
Check out EnRich and wait for a part 2, because I love these conversations and stories, and I'm sure as you guys continue to grow, there'll be so much more to show and to share.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely.